What's up, guys? Vince right here. I come up with, I came ready, but I'm not. Okay, I just try to actually at least uphand some energy, and so that it's kind of like a push to get me through this. But yep, I'm just here. I don't know what it is. I feel like a lot of times I just feel empty. Like there's no point really of doing this YouTube thing anymore. At least the way I look at it. I mean, I used to look at YouTube like, yeah, this is something I, dream of doing mostly in the terms of being financially, set from doing YouTube. Didn't get a dime out of any videos I ever made in this channel. I never got a dime. That's why there was no problem of me deleting some of the webtoons in this channel, because I know for a fact that's the only thing that most of you guys care about. And I know that because there's literally nothing that anyone cares about in this channel. Nothing. Not even me. And I don't know, I could be wrong on all that and stuff. Honestly, I have no idea who I'm talking to. You would think like, oh man, I miss you. It's good to see you. But yeah, here's the thing. Most, and I get this from other channels that haven't been around. But if I was to take a break for 3 or 4 months, you guys would be like, hey, welcome back. And that's it. That's it. Let's be real. That's the only thing you would ever say, because there's nothing else to add. Welcome back, Vince. And silent for, I guess, the next 100 projects if I ever get that ready. But yeah, I just have to come up here and I guess just, talk about the top 10 thing. There's no rush for it. If anything, it's probably going to come out after my birthday. And my birthday's coming up. I'm not looking forward to my birthday. I'm not sure what is going on. I know Stefan's dealing with his stuff. We're supposed to do something. But and he's dealing with a lot. He's dealing with, I'm just hoping he's okay, I can't get into personal things in the respects of Stefan. But, just pray for him. I don't know what's happening. I'm only hoping that he's gonna be a-okay, and that nothing crazy happens or anything like that. And I can't give out the details of like what he's going through. But when you lose your home and you're dealing with other stuff, other drama, and you just don't want to deal with that, there's a part of me where I don't know what it is, but the moment that you start relaxing, I guess the devil has a way of just like, hey, your life's screwed now. Oh, ruin your nap. You know what I mean? But, then again, God has a way. So you got to trust God with a lot of this. There's a part of me where I wish, Stefan trusts God more. It just didn't feel that. And I don't blame him, because in some parts I'm kind of like that. Though I can't get rid of the thought of it and my faith itself. And I'm free to talk about it. Because, that's always a good excuse. And pretty much what only matters is, knowing that I'm going to be, safe with him, But every time I try to mention the Lord, I get nothing, especially with in the break, the hip hop side of my digital footprint. The moment I mention God, like, I got no one. Like, I remember turning Christian, that specific channel and Instagram handle, and man, the amount of ignoring just went through the roof. It's like I got all these views from it, and it's kind of sad that, yeah, I got nothing. It's like, I would post some stuff there and I got more views, but I got 0 likes. Like 0 likes. So, I don't know. There's a part of me where that gets to me. Like, it's worse than this channel. At least in this channel, you guys see it, you like it and stuff. The very small amounts of support you can show goes a long, long way. Did you know that if anyone were to ask me, like at least 3 people, even if you ask me something that I cannot do, which is doing webtoon content, I would consider it, because I would even talk about it. That's all it takes. Like, it just takes a small amount, just to push things to where it has to be. Basically, just, letting me know, instead of just like, just feeling like you're alone and you work so hard to get the followers for you deserve and the followers you gain over the years and not being there, there's something very just disturbing about that, where it's like they're not there, but they're there. You know what I mean? And there's a part of me where I don't blame them because a lot of us hate being awkward, especially in this time in my life. I really can't afford to be awkward. There's certain things that stick to me mentally, and I just can't live through that. And when things happen, and they happen, you think I can just forget about it. No, I'm going to be thinking about it, and it's going to screw up my whole piece. And, that's why I'm trying to, I guess that's why I'm sheltered in a sense. But, anyways, yeah, top tens, there's no rush for it. If anything, I don't even need to make it. I'm not gonna blame you. I don't need to make it. I can probably put in a VinzTalk or something, which is probably a good idea. Like, hey guys, welcome to VinzTalk. Usually I don't add anything edited here, but if anything, I would just like, hey, make a VinzTalk and like what I'm doing right now, talk about my favorite games and talk about my favorite things here and there, and yeah, that's it. Just put it all together. Why not? But there is a part of me where it's like I kind of want to at least show some production. So, I'll get around it if I have to. Other than that, I've just been busy having fun with Grok and making all my stories there. It's been really fun. Like it got to the point where now I'm making lore. I'm making different universes with my writing, and I'm enjoying writing as it's meant to be more than ever. And, I kind of treat it like, oh, it's just something fun, settle down, relax, and just make some stuff up on the spot by using AI. And I want to say this. I want to let you know proudly, that I use AI. Why? I don't care. I really genuinely don't care about, there will be that one person be like, how dare you using AI? Well, guess what? I don't care, and I don't even have the money for hiring this or that. Maybe I might in the future, because I do have a job, and I'm thinking of actually doing that somewhere around the future, like really hiring artists and making something instead of using AI. But there's a part of me where, listen, I could do this many times each day and it will give me what I want compared to an artist, what they're trying to do for me. I would choose an artist half of the time, but most of the time I would choose AI because you're just in the comfort of your own home and you're doing something convenient. And why the heck would you bother anyone else actually doing it for you? You know what I mean? And I know that AI at this point has been looked at as somewhat evil. I don't blame you. It does look like that. It really does. Because whatever the whole news with Grok, with the whole news thing, that's crazy and it's no surprise. Whatever, many people losing their jobs, because of AI, yeah, I don't blame you. And also, scripture-wise, especially me in the faith that, what AI is doing to that. And you know what? A lot of times, yeah, AI is evil. But also, it kind of helped me. It kind of helped me get through things, health-wise, mechanical-wise. Like, hey, AI, help me change this oil in my car, what oil to use or something like that. You know what I mean? Mechanic-wise, stuff that I don't know. Something that I'm not a professional at. At some point, in a few, like, I don't know, either now or tomorrow, but later on, I'm going to have AI teach me how to really use Excel and really get my gaming backlog organized over there. Like, there is different parts of AI that I use it, and it could be offensive to some people, but I kind of want to really emphasize this, and I love emphasizing this, is that who the frick cares? You know what I mean? Who the frick cares? Like, you think there's someone this pissed off about me using AI or something? No! Like, what do you think I haven't been uploading or something to actually not get opinions? Like I said, things get to me. And when there's a comment that gets to me, I'll make a video about it. I might be tempted to. And there's a part of me where I'll just respond on the spot. But at the same time, I don't want to deal with the drama. I don't want to deal with drama that is basically online instead of face-to-face. It's very different face-to-face because everybody's just crazy and confident when they're online. And there was this study about people online that are usually mostly online are the ones that are crazy. And one of them And going on a stretch here, like I think there was a talk about when I heard about this whole Kirk situation, the whole Charlie Kirk situation that I tend to like talking about, because it's a good example of people really not agreeing with you. But guess what? They can just find you and boom, boom, boom. And you think that's okay? It's not. I don't know what world you live in where you think that's normal. Go to hell, because that's not normal. Okay, you person that you disagree with, and then you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go find this person. Are you serious right now? Are you the online? That's why when it comes to face, and you tell that to my face right now, the thing is that you're very confident, and I know this with Stefan that he's very different. I don't like, and I think I mentioned this, I don't like talking to my friends when we are doing it via text, email. No. That's why I call him, and that's why I talk to him face to face. Because your truth means more when you're talking to people face to face. There's a sense of response time instead of like waiting for this long, because you might say something stupid and then you think, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything back. No, I might say something back, but here's the problem: is that are you gonna get around to that? Are you gonna get around to this at some point? That's the thing. With the whole thing with with me doing like the Instagram stuff with my other channel is that I was in a tight knit community that actually people know me. And the moment I mention them, it's like it takes them a while, but at the same time, you just don't know if they see it. And a lot of times, the moment I mention to them, like they're not gonna respond to it. They're probably gonna be like, "What?" Or "Oh, I didn't see it," or this or that, or what excuse. But face to face is heavily different. It always is different face to face. If you got a problem with me, if you got a problem with this, there's certain things that people say online that are very, very different when you really go face to face with them. I'm talking about I'm in front of your face and you said this, you said this shit to me? Like you really mean that? Huh? You really mean that right now, huh? Like human to human. But no, the online world, people just seems to have bigger balls or something. And I'm tired of that because that pisses me off. And I was like, that's not what you really mean, huh? Because if I was someone that you cared about, would you say that same thing to my face? Listen, the online was turning me into a certain person that I didn't want to be. And I never wanted this anger, but there is certain moments, specifically on Discord, where I got so pissed off, where the sense of me being online at all, I just never wanted it. That's why I didn't pursue Webtoon. That's why I didn't pursue doing big things on like videos or anything, or put anything out there. That's why I didn't really make a show about whatever big topics and I, put it out there. I wanted to be low key online because I don't want access to everything that I have in my life that I work hard for. And one day when I have a family, I sure don't want access to that. I don't want anyone to have access to that. There are certain things that are just kept private and that are meant for basically you and me, you know what I mean? So I I I don't know. That's just what I want to really get out of my chest. I'm supposed to talk about news, but stuff like this, just like, yeah, I want to share this. I want to share like what's really going into my head most of the time. You know what I mean? Anyways, let me respond to text here because I don't give a damn anymore. I really don't. If I got to respond to a text, I'm responding to a text, okay? So anyways, do you want to grab some dinner? Anyways, where was I? Oh, yeah. So anyways, the top 10 coming soon. And also, what else is coming soon? Well, actually, not really. But I don't know, some AI stuff that I've been working on. And I've been using Grok AI. There's certain aspects of AI that I'm going to be using throughout it. But it's also going to be like in Wattpad and stuff. I got to figure out how to make... It's not with the AI that I have to figure out. I got to figure out how to make this stuff sort of like PG in a sense. You know what I mean? because it's a lot of stuff that I had like from childhood, and pretty much here I am still having these fantasies that I kind of just want to express, but in a more like appropriate and biblical sense. You know what I mean? It sounds crazy, but it's stuff that I pretty much like, really, really sort of have to fix and stuff like that. You're gonna see. Anyways, hold on, I got another text. Okay, so Venezuela, are y'all okay? Because apparently there's this news about Maduro, President Maduro, and how he's going to jail. That whole photo. First off, I've been seeing these AI videos of him. Hilarious. I love it. I love it. But also, man, it's not looking good for him. It is not looking good for him. Yeah, that's all I can say. Again, there are some details, but yeah, we don't need to spend time here. I've been hearing a lot of things when it comes to the whole fraud situation in Minnesota. Even to the point where, like, ICE has always been looked bad. A lot of times, that's how you know that, USA is very strict with their immigration laws here or there. And when you ask my opinion, the thing is that there is a part of me where I feel like fate-wise, it's, people should be allowed to come to this country in a sense of legally, because a lot of times that's what you have to do. Some people run away from, and it's sad. The whole ICE situation when it comes to people in general is sad. Like, my church is against, ICE and pretty much, like deportation and stuff like that. And in some ways, I'm kind of the same way. I know for a fact that I can't imagine really going back to the Philippines. I just can't. I can't, and I want my life here in the US. And the thing is that, you come here in the right, you just come here knowing that, because no one's perfect. A lot of people have flaws, a lot of people have crimes, a lot of people have emotions, and I don't blame them. They go through stuff, they're not perfect, they're not a nice person. I would say that I'm not the nicest person, but a lot of times I try to be, we all try to be, but we all have limits in our lives because we are in situations that we don't want to deal with, and certain things get to us, and we have to do what we have to do. Someone is charged for murder because they try to defend their own family. That makes sense, but it gets a little higher because now that person that died, like, they got some people behind their back and they're not happy with this other person trying to protect his own family, and sometimes when it comes to anger, that goes over the lack of understanding. And that's sadly the world that a lot of people live in. And I try to really say that in a sense of like in the emotions of people. Many people that are from these countries or something are trying to run away because of their crimes, and they're trying to find a better life. And that's what they have to do because they're not good people. Because, well, guess what? No one is a good person. I go in the sense of like, listen, you can't look at anyone like a role model because nobody is a role model. I'm not a role model. I was never meant to be a role model. Oh, because I have a bunch of kids following my freaking channel for whatever reason, and then I try to actually tell them like what's right or what's wrong. Maybe in that ways that kind of is what a role model does, a father figure, but that's not really what I am. I don't really have a choice. The thing is, if I have a kid, and me being married one day, and that's something that I wanted. I want to be married one day. Well, guess what? I have to be a father of my own children. And I have to be the husband that my wife wishes. But here's the thing. I'm not at that point. I'm single. I got no one to mingle. But I'm ready to mingle because I'm single. And the thing is that I don't really know when. You don't know when. I don't know when, but that's no one's business. Because that's my own business. That's God's, within me and God's business of just like, okay, if this happens, what's going to happen next? And what it takes to protect my family. The different emotions. And I look at my family, I don't blame them for, having me like, just wanting to go through the things that they go through. I don't blame them. But the thing is that when, these people that, there's so many broken people, and a lot of these people that are immigrants are broken. And I never liked the idea of like, hey, if this person is like illegal, I gotta let the officers know and stuff like that. I gotta let the, ICE know. I just couldn't do that because I don't know what they've been through. The thing is that yes, they do need to speak English. They do need to match with U.S. protocols and stuff like that and law. And there's certain things you can't do. But the thing is that you just have to be a genuine nice person, a good enough person in this world that we all live in. You know what I mean? And the thing is that yeah, I don't really blame people for really fighting against ICE, I guess. And especially that's what happened with Renee Good. And Renee Good, I think, like the thing is that if an officer is trying to defend himself, there's, whatever consequences you have going, I'm sorry, that's pretty much what you have to deal with. Like if I tried to hurt an officer, I don't blame myself for actually getting the consequences that I deserve. Whether it's a good old butt ass whooping or is going to jail, or of course the third, God forbid, death. And sadly, that's what happened with Renee Good, and people are trying to like, oh, she didn't deserve it or stuff like that. And there's like these other opinions, and we're going back to the whole fighting thing when it comes down to what is right or what is wrong in our eyes. And yeah, it's sad that Renee Good had to go. But at the same time, it's, the officer was trying to defend himself. And what was trying to Renee Good? And I don't know much of the details. Again, you got to look at it as a single legal basis and, understanding basis, It could be anyone. Shoot, it could be Stefan. And pretty much I would say, well, I never want that with Stefan. But a lot of times, what is there a better choice? Same thing for myself. We shouldn't hurt an officer ever. There's a thing called consequences. And if we get those consequences, well, guess what's going to come back to us? You know what I mean? When we do something wrong, what do you think is going to happen? In some ways, you're going to pay the price. That's the world we live in. You think no. I never wanted to talk about any of this or nothing like that. Listen, I want like just any hippie, any person, especially with God, I want peace on earth. I just want peace on earth. But there's no peace out here, man. When the news is this flashy and this hybrid to the point where now the sky's pink in freaking UK, I heard. What else is peaceful? Nothing, okay? I don't know what's peaceful. You know what's really driving up my peace is knowing what the frick is that alien going on in freaking Honduras. Like that little, like freaking Silent Hills looking alien. I don't want to check, but there's a part of me that the venom is coming. Venom, I don't want it. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, just be safe out there. Also, I heard there's some two news. I just want to put that real quick. I don't know what's going on with this whole situation with Trax NYC. That meme is like, where's my money? Where's my money? He's shaking I'm like, man, that guy has some energy. Anger overloaded. Golly. And also the AI babysitter / Sony. I mean, listen, Sony has a ghost gamer for AI. And there's a part of me where there could be good things for this, but also there's a part of me where it's like, no, because at that point, you might as well just look at a walkthrough. So many walkthrough. First off, seeing this, I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, this is cool because people that have walkthrough channels, shout out to Long Plays, shout out to Tico Gameplays and stuff like that. All these channels that have gameplay, and I watch them when I'm lost, like, oh, where do I go through here in Dragon Age or in Final Fantasy? Where do I go? What do I do? Blah, blah, blah. And Long Plays and these other channels got my back. So this might be a good thing for like freaking Long Play channels, with the AI Ghost Gamer thing. But that's just me. Is there anything else interesting? Of course, nothing, because I'm out. One love and peace. God bless.